All right. So I got Allen on the call this week, and Allen might not even know exactly why I got him on the call, but I got him on the call this week for a very specific reason. I keep track with everybody's numbers. I love watching Allen's numbers. I think it's great seeing what he's doing, I didn't get him on the call specifically to go over exactly, and I don't want to say we're hiding anything he's doing because Allen's an open book. He'll tell you anything he's doing any day of the week, and I would encourage you. I don't know if he's going to be there, but I think in like 2 or 3 days, they are doing a meeting. Darren and Nate Maddox are hosting a meeting in Atlanta, Georgia. And if Allen's there, you should go check him out, talk to him, ask him what he's doing. But here's why I got Allen on a call. So I went back and I pulled numbers, Allen. Might be interesting to you. But I went back to 2020. Allen's been with us for some time. And I was like, you know what? Let's really see how much Allen's grown over the last few years. So I was like, you know what? So check these numbers out. So if you're paying attention, listen to these numbers. So in 2020, Allen did a total of $94,000 in production premium, right? That $94,000 in premium, which, by the way, in standard of most of y'all, I mean, if you live by the rule of 50%, that's what, $47,000 in income, right? Now it's probably more than that, but I just, again, stay safe on your calculations and you'll live a really good life in this business, right? Then he went from 2020, which is, by the way, COVID. So, right, COVID, the year of COVID, that was just a wonderful year of COVID. But then he jumped into 2021, kind of started revamping himself a little bit, went to $145,000 in 2021, 145,000. So, I mean, literally 50% growth from 2020 to 2021. That's amazing. I was like, dude, you can't get better, too much better than that. So then we jumped to 2022, went from 145 total volume in 2021 to 176,000 in 2022. And if you're a business person in general, right, maybe you're trying to become a better business person in general, understand when you have a growth like that, right? If you calculate out a differential of $36,000-ish or $31,000, I'm sorry, excuse me, from year over year, right? Or if you do it in a percentage of growth, right? If you calculate that out, most companies would be excited to grow. I was reading a report. Here's crazy. I was reading a report about Hanes, right? Everybody's heard of Hanes, right? Hanes makes t-shirts. They make clothing. Yeah, most of y'all probably own multiple brands of their clothing inside your houses, from socks to underwear to t-shirts to whatever, you name it. You probably have a Hanes piece of clothing in your house. Hanes projected their this year growth to be 3.5%. $31,000 increase in growth is substantially more than that. I mean, just think about that. So if you're growing on a double digit growth level on a yearly basis, that's fantastic. So you like that, right? So then I go, okay, so 2022, 176,000, 2021, 145, 2020, 94,000, 2023 year to date, 2023. Remember, 176 in 2022, 2023 year to date. We're not even to September yet. Allen's already surpassed $260,000 from 2022, halfway through 2023. So I was like, you know what? Let's talk about it. Because I think Allen, and we're going to jump into it right now, Allen. I think one of the things we really want to think about, right? So I want to think about it this way, and forgive me if anything messes up on my screen. I'm going to try to fix it intermittently while Allen and I are on here. But one of the things I was sitting there going, I want Allen to talk about revamping, because Allen could have essentially stayed at 94,000. He could have not been happy with the industry and got out of the industry, because a lot of people quit. A lot of people quit the industry. That it's easy to quit something. The world is built with people quitting stuff. So it's easy to quit, and especially in somewhere where you have to constantly be learning and growing, when you're making phone calls, when you're getting told no, right? Objections are a real thing, and they're hard to deal with for a lot of people. So don't feel like if you get discouraged by objections, or if you get discouraged by, somebody telling you no to something, or not buying a policy from you, getting told to basically pound off on the phone. If you get discouraged by that stuff, don't think you're an anomaly. That's normal. That's normal human behavior, is to get discouraged by that, because it is discouraging, right? So I don't want to fool you by that. I don't want to fool you. And our goal is always to try to help you to not get discouraged while you're doing it. But the reality is, listen, if I told you when I first started, I didn't pull over on the side of the road when I missed a sell and be super frustrated and think about quitting every day of my life, I'd be lying to you, because I did just like anybody else. So Allen could have stopped at 94,000 2020. And Allen, I would say inherently you weren't the best in-home guy when you were out writing just traditional mortgage protection. I don't think I think your numbers kind of prove that. You got guys like Christian Pounder who went out in a house and wrote like $400,000 in a house, right? But all of a sudden you started revamping yourself, focusing on something different in your business. And so kind of what I want you to talk to people about is really when you're going through when you're thinking about like, hey, you're in the life insurance industry, you were brought up to look at mortgage protection leads, right? You were brought up to look at one standardized style business that didn't really work the greatest for you. How you decided to revamp towards something you were more interested in and intrigued by, and you liked helping people based upon that. So talk about the changing that and how you looked at your business, and then maybe like what it's helped you maybe think a little bit differently about the business. But let's talk about that a little bit. Explain to people a little bit about how you were running one style and then you revamped yourself and went a different direction.
Yeah, man. So, Jay, first of all, thanks for having me on the call. You're right. I didn't really know what to expect from you today. So, but yeah, I appreciate that. It's funny that you mentioned Christian Pounder, because me and Christian, we actually talk, and I don't know if I ever told him this, but it was probably 2020, I want to say, whenever we was at convention, and he said from the stage, he said, "Hey, man, it's not if this business works, it's figuring out how it works for you." Right. And I really took that and rolled with it, because at the end of the day, I came in, recruiting to do mortgage protection sales. And I did it, and even flew out to Jersey and Maryland and went different places to sit down in front of clients and have that conversation. But I knew deep down inside I knew this business would work, but I just wanted to get into the side I wanted to, and that's the kind of retirement planning, and eventually evolved into something else. But I started out going on the retirement planning side. So I kind of transitioned in 2021 from, mortgage protection to actually incorporating the retirement planning, advanced market side, and helping clients with annuities and IULs, and also, partnering with other agents to help them out as well. And I kind of like that. And then if you see, the next transition came in 2022, which was when I actually went to do pension reviews, right? And I literally started dealing solely with helping teachers and pension reviews and 401k rollovers. So I kind of completely got away from the mortgage protection space, because I knew that that's where I wanted to be. And that's what kind of fueled me to actually go out and really want to sit in front of clients and enjoy having that conversation with them about planning what their future looked like, and also for their kids as well. And then and it's crazy, because March 2nd, 2022, I never forget it, because we were on a phone call and my son was born, but we were on our retirement solutions call or for PSI groups, and you said, "Hey, Allen, I need you to figure out what this debt free for life thing is. It's getting a lot of buzz." And I appreciate you for having that conversation with me, because I was in the hospital getting ready to go into labor with my son, and it was a 30-minute call. It wasn't long, but that to me knew that, hey, I needed to look into this, because we hear about this could be a game changer, this could be a big thing. But again, I guess it's different for me, because I already went through a program similar to this to help get out of debt way back in college when I got out. So I knew this worked, and I knew I was passionate about it. So I appreciate you for giving me that nudge, and then also throwing me out there to other managers saying, "Hey, get Al on the call," because I got a call from a regional manager the next week saying, "Hey, can you jump on a team call?" So that kind of forced me to really dive into it head first back in March. And I just kind of put the tunnel vision on and kind of went straight at it. And I knew that this is what I want to do, but I also knew that I can help not only myself, but I can actually help other agents make money as well by just referring their clients to me and continue to move on. So I love the space that I'm in. I love the fact that, continually build relationships with clients, and it's a forced conversation, every 2, 3, 4 months, instead of having an annual checkup. I'm talking to these clients a lot more frequently, and that's where referrals will come a lot more frequently as well, because we're paying off debts along the way, and also still getting referrals from other clients and our agents also.
Yeah, I mean, dude, listen, the one other thing I'll tell you, and this is, I mean, I think people need to understand this, right? Is when you and I remember it's interesting because I remember when I called you and you were in the hospital, your wife was going into labor, and I was like, hey, listen, you call me back, and you're like, no, 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 let's talk about this real quick. And it was more so because you had a desire to do that kind of stuff, but you were open as well. And I think it's interesting because I love to listen. I love that you give me credit for like having conversations with you, but I remember you flying around to like meetings to talk to people. So you actually had to do the initiative of work to get that going. But I think what a perfect example of it is for you is that the fact that it wasn't that you didn't like mortgage protection and insurance. And listen, this is not a bash on mortgage protection in any like way, shape, or form. I think it's important. I think Alan made a tremendous leap by learning about stuff. But I also think you gotta understand that this business has multiple facets, and sometimes we understand you're going to be more passionate about one direction than another. I mean, Alan is very passionate about the debt free for life, and it shows in his numbers. I mean, and at the end of the day, our fiduciary responsibility is to help our clients in the best possible manner. And that's what Alan's done. And you can see, we can talk about his volume and that it's made him more money. And that is a byproduct. But what he's been able to do is he's been able to help more families protect themselves through the debt free for life process. And you've jumped around. You've done the mortgage protection. You learned how to do the debt free for life, but you've also done the teacher pensions. And so you've actually educated yourself to learn more about this business. Do you think by educating yourself through different facets, like learning about them, like actively spending time, do you feel like that's made it the transition into the debt-free world for you? Do you feel like it's made it substantially easier for you?
Yeah, I would say 100%. And I didn't mean to leave that out, but I know you always say, hey, we fly around and get trained. I remember you called me and said, hey, I need you to be here on Tuesday if you can, and they would think it was like Saturday or something for a meeting, and I'm like, okay, I'm there to have a conversation with other agents to show them what we have to offer. But I think the willingness to invest in yourself and your business and knowledge wise is going to put you ahead of the game, anybody else that may pick it up and say, oh, this seems nice, let me give it a shot, right? Like you said, a lot of people quit every single day in this business, right?
Absolutely.
Because it's easy to do that. But at the end of the day, if you're willing to invest in yourself and you put the money up to fly around and go to trainings, and I could be seeing clients, but I took this day off to go to Orlando or go to Minnesota when it's negative 11 degrees, whatever the case may be, is I just wanted to get that knowledge because I'm around people that are already doing it, and I can soak up that from them and also speed up my learning curve. And I definitely think that definitely had a huge, huge play in being successful in this debt free for life as it came last year.
So if we have people who have obviously they've gone through learning about mortgage protection, and again, I mean, Alan, I think you've been a great example of learning it. Like you learned the process. You've learned how to sell mortgage protection. You know how to call leads. You know how to book appointments. And I don't think that's ever going to be something you don't do, right? Which is dialing, booking appointments. You still do it to this day. So like we're not saying Alan doesn't do the remedial stuff like dialing and booking appointments. But if somebody's going, hey, listen, I love that passion. I have that same passion for more of the estate style planning. Can you give them kind of a walk by or step by step process of what you would recommend they do? Maybe even from the remedial process of they just got started in the business. How can they maybe start? What would be like a quick step program to get to the debt free or get to the estate style planning? Can you kind of walk them through what you would recommend from your perspective that would help them out kind of getting better quicker at that?
Yeah, and just before I give that, Jerrod, I know I guess you appreciate this too, is you can't just change because you don't know how to do what you're doing currently. Right. So if you don't know how to do the basics and making dials and setting appointments and going to see clients and helping a family, then that's the first thing. Because even if you switch over, like it's not, a lot of people think it's easier because maybe the numbers are bigger and you don't see as many clients. It's not, it has nothing to do with that. It's more about understanding the small pieces that play into the bigger picture of, hey, I got this client to pay $3,000 or $4,000 a month for a particular policy to get out of debt. But the first steps is just doing joint work. Like, I think that's the biggest thing is, and I had a conversation, there was a call last week, was talking on, and one of the gentlemen used to work for Merrill Lynch, and he said, hey, he brought him in as a new person, and he said he would love for a top selling advisor to come in and say, hey, watch me do what I do so I can show you my tricks. That just doesn't happen. Most people are going to hide and not give you everything to be successful. But in this business here, the reason I love this program so much, because you can come in and share 2, 3, 4 cases and literally see how it goes from beginning all the way to end, and then literally take it and go do it yourself. Right? It's not a
Yeah.
theory of saying maybe this works, so try it this way. Watch me do it, and then you literally take it and do it with you. So I think that's, out of everything, whether it's yourself sitting down on a debt-free for life case yourself, or going to the back office looking at the trainings and the different ones they have in different places you can go to, the experience is sitting down, going through the process with Debt Free for Life advisor. If that's something you're passionate about, or if it's annuities, then you say, hey, Kim, let me sit down with you and go through it, right? Like, that's what you need to do to see if this is something you're passionate about, and also see, can you do it? Because the first meeting, the sale isn't made in the first meeting, it's made in the second, third, and fourth. But a lot of people don't realize that we have 3, 4 appointments with that first client.
Hey, Alan, I think something's wrong with your audio. Can you mute and unmute yourself real fast just to see? I think, unless it's just on my side, it sounded like you were getting staticky for just a quick second. But
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you, but it just sounds a little robotic. So I don't know if it was something inside your audio, but it could be me. So there's a high probability it might be me that hears it bad. So don't think it's not. And I think what you said, I mean, listen, I think as an independent business owner, right? Like, I don't care who you are. This business, I'm looking at a ton of people's screens. I was sitting there in Chuck's office and they saw all the screens I get to look at. And I love looking at people on the screens because I love to see business owners investing in time into themselves learning, right? But I would tell you, one of the things that Alan, and I think he's just been a great example of it, is you have to invest into your business as a business owner, right? Like, Alan spends countless hours learning about the products. He spends countless hours learning about the markets. He spends countless hours talking to people and going to training. And I think because of that, it pays you dividends when you do spend those countless hours, right? So I think Alan's invested a lot into learning the debt free. Now, what I would do, and see, Alan, I've always thought it was interesting because I'm a huge proponent. Like, this, people are going to think this is crazy, but Alan just made a comment about, hey, listen, if you want to learn more about the debt-free side of it and you want to become a professional like Alan, you can actually connect with Alan. And I'll have Alan give you his email address before we get off. But you can connect with Alan. He'll walk you through what you need to do to set up some deals. And he'll go with you on those deals, basically. Not physically go on them, but he'll meet with the clients with you. He'll show you the process. You guys split the sales, and then you go through several of those with him before you got the process down. Then once you get the process down, you can either continue to feed him like that, and he'll do the same thing, or you can go on your own way with it. I'm a huge advocate of buying my way to information. But I'm telling y'all, if there's anything I can teach you, learn this real quick. I'm a huge advocate. If Alan tells me that I can connect with him, feed him people for this, and he'll split deals with me, and I can move like that and learn on the fly, there is nothing I'd rather do than that. Because the other alternative to that, Alan, would be to do what you've done, which is open book by book by book, and program by program and program, and navigate it through and do trial and error runs nonstop until you actually figure out the process. Or people can sit down and watch you do it and mimic. And I'm like, listen, if I was in Chuck's office, right, with Chuck and David, and there's a bunch of guys dialing in that office the other day, and I was like, man, like, one of them was saying something on the phone, and he was getting objections. I said, dude, if you can just not say what you're saying right now to get those objections, it'd be better for you. Just stop saying this part, because every time you say this part, you're getting an objection. Like, I like to follow through on things like that are easy for me to bypass all the problems that I'm going to have. So Alan's telling you how he did it and how he'll do it. but you can watch him. Allen, I'm a huge fan of, and I do think Allen's actually spent time with Tracy Spikes and some other guys to do the exact same thing, which definitely made it quicker. But I'm a big fan of passing stuff, almost passing the buck to somebody who knows how to do it to help me split cells and get rolling faster. So, I mean, Allen, do you feel like that helped advance you quicker by catching up with Tracy and David and those guys and making sure that you can speed your way through the process?
Yeah, absolutely. Because me and Begley, we sat down with our very first appointment, and I sat down and watched him. Just because Tracy was too busy when we first got started, and me talking to you, I understand it was an urgency, and we need to figure out how to do it and how to do it fast. But after that, I still watched countless videos, and it just cuts down, like you said, one, your learning curve if you're trying to do this, but also if you're not trying to do it and you just want to send referring business over, you continue to do whatever you're doing, whether that's full-time mortgage protection, a part-time and a full-time job. It doesn't take any of your time but 3 to 5 minutes to have a conversation, to send it over, and then you split the sale and continue to move on. So it's whether you're trying to learn how to do it, or I just have some people that'll benefit from the program, you just then refer it out and continue working your business every day like you've been doing. Nothing changes for you other than referring it over in a 3 or 5 minute conversation.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's no different than, I mean, if you're thinking about like a home builder, right? Like a general contractor who subs out different parts of their business, right? I think Allen's talking to you about the same thing. You're the general contractor. Just because you know how to do plumbing, you know how to wire up a house, you know how to frame a house, you know how to roof a house, just because you know how to do it all doesn't mean you're going to do it all every single time. I think if you can pay attention to that style in this business, you're way more successful. I don't do everything myself, nor will I ever do everything myself. I'm a big advocate of farming out things so that I can accomplish more in a shorter period, right? Like the goal is not to, yeah, I was sitting in Chuck and Davy's office last week with their guys. I said, hey, listen, can I give you a tip? The goal is not to work 90 hours a week. Like, matter of fact, if all y'all are on the call and you're listening, the goal is not even to work 40 hours if we can avoid it. If we have to work it, we'll work it. But the goal is not. The goal is to figure out how to get the best ROI on your investment in the shortest amount of time without having to sit there and work crazy hours and be away from your family the rest of your life. That's not the goal, is to be away from everybody and not enjoy your life. Your goal is to enjoy it. So if you can get on the phone, right, you can book 7, 8, 9, 10 mortgage protection appointments 2 or 3 days a week. While you're in there, you're collecting information about annuities and IULs and debt-free products. You can farm them over to Allen. Allen could call those people for you while you're still doing the other stuff that you had. But at the same time, you're getting paid from what Allen's doing. You're getting paid on mortgage protection. You go and recruit, you're getting paid off of overrides. You understand the concept of this business is not for you to work crazy hours. It's to work smart in building your business, right? Work smart. You are not the guy that has to, or the gal that has to do everything. Learn how to use the business properly to your advantage. That's Allen, does that make sense to you?
Oh, 100%. Like I thought you would ask, what was my schedule like, but just to share it, like Monday evening at 4 is when I start appointments, and I end on Thursday. So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I'm spending time with my family, which I have 3 kids, a senior in high school and a 17-month-old son, right? So I put my schedule that way because it's not to work 90 hours, right? I came from corporate America and worked 60, 70 hours a week. That's not what I wanted to do here. And it gives you the ability to put that schedule together and stick to it. But when you're working, you're working. I guess that's the biggest thing.
Hey, is anybody hearing Allen sound like a computer like I am, or is it just me? No, he sounds fine. Just nod your head yes if he sounds fine. Okay, good. I'm glad you sound fine, because I can't understand hardly anything. My system is messed up today. I don't know why. On my side, I look blurry, fuzzy across my screen too. So I have no idea if I look ridiculous or not. It causes, hey, listen, man, you always got problems somewhere. That's what you get for trying to turn on Zoom by yourself. See, I told you I'm not trying to do everything myself, Allen. That's the problem. And I turn on Zoom by myself and it messes up. So, that's how it goes. But again, I mean, that's listen, that's the general concept, is to learn what you were talking about, Alan, to do your deal, learn your business. And if you have to, and use the best resources you have to advance your business without having to work crazy. Like Alan's got kids. He don't want to work 90 hours a week. He wants to enjoy his life. Matter of fact, he does. He enjoys his life. That's what all of you should do. You should all be striving to get as much ROI with the smallest amount of time you can invest into it. Right? Like if you go, hey, listen, man, I'm making 300 grand a year working 10 hours a week. Congratulations. I'm good with it. You don't have to sell me on working more hours. I don't care. Right. But what I'm doing is I'm sitting there going, hey, listen, I like the debt free for life. I have and Alan can attest this. I personally have no interest in doing debt free for life. Right. If I find somebody who's interested in debt free for life, I am hands down sending it to Alan, David, wherever they're at and whatever states they're at. And I've sent deals to Alan before, so I know that's what I've done. I'm not interested in doing it, but I can make half of the money for sending to him without having to do any work. Oh, it sounds like a win-win for me. See, when you're on the phone booking appointments, when you're closing deals, don't forget to ask, hey, listen, you got anything that acts like insurance, like a 401k, IRA, mutual fund, CD, 403b? Hey, do you have any debt, like college education debt? Do you have any debt that you're not happy with? Hey, listen, we got a specialist. He's awesome. I'm going to send your information over. He's going to give you a quick shout, maybe 5 or 10 minutes. He's going to tell you about a program that's free for our clients. He's just going to let you know all about it. Listen, don't be scared of him. His name's Alan. Just when you see him call, he's going to call from this area code, pick it up, let him tell you about it. Boom, it's done. And then if Alan finds something in it, you get half of it. You didn't do anything. You just told the client they were going to call you. That to me seems so simple, but I'll tell you, majority will never do it because there's 2 reasons behind why they'll never do. 2 reasons, Alan. Here's the 2 reasons. You ready? Number one, they're so trigger happy on running away from a sell because they closed it that they're scared if they say anything else, the client's going to cancel that sell on it. Okay, so that's the first reason, and that's a bad reason because if you're scared, it's going to happen anyway. So, and matter of fact, the clients will keep stuff longer with the better relationship that they have with you, okay? So don't jump off of a phone call. Slow down, finish out the sales. By doing that, you go, hey, listen, we got a free program. If you got any college debt, if your kid's got any college debt, if you got any stuff that you're trying to accomplish or pay off earlier, we got a specialist. He'll call you. It's free for our clients. We want to make sure that you have everything possible that's free for you that we can help you out with, okay? Let Alan talk to them. The other reason what people do is they think they're better off doing it themselves. They think they're better off doing it themselves. Let me give you a tip. Understand the concept of the general contractor on houses. Just because you know how stuff works, just because you're a plumber doesn't mean you're going to hook pipes up. Just because you know how the general understanding of roofing is doesn't mean you're going to lay the shingles. Understand the general contractor makes the most money, not the trades attached. So what you better off doing is going, hey, listen, if I got a debt free for life, Allen Larkins can help me out. If I got an annuity, Kim Rollins can help me out. You can farm these out to people. Hey, if I got a new recruit that I don't know how to promote the business properly, David Schneider can help me out. You can utilize the tools and the resources you have to help you explode your business. But if you have that small-mindedness of thinking you're better off doing it yourself, you become the masters or the jack of all trades, masters of nothing. So just remember that. So become the master of what you're doing, farm out the traits to the people who are better at it than you. Let them close it, make half of the money for closing out deals. So, Alan, thanks, buddy, for getting on, man. We appreciate you so much. Obviously, listen, I'm not going to take all the thunder away from Darren Willis because I see him cranking out some big numbers, but I know that you've helped him out because he told me. And he said, Alan has been a tremendous help. He's helped me out because of it. He's crushing some volume right now. See, Darren used to send all of that business to Alan until he learned how to do it. And now he learned how to do it. And now he's doing. So just a quick tip, and Darren did like $70,000 last week. So I mean, it doesn't suck. So just be aware. So Alan, thanks again, buddy. Appreciate you getting on the call, man, and taking time. Congratulations, man. Seriously. I mean, 260 year to date. I mean, I gotta imagine you're gonna crack 4. So it'll be your biggest year ever by over double. So congratulations, man. So we're proud of you. Keep it up. Don't let it down. And Alan, if they want to get a hold of you, what's the best way to get a hold of you? Can you tell them real quick?
Yeah, I'm gonna give you my email and my phone number, because if you shoot a text, I can get back to you a little bit faster than an email. So my phone number is 404-606-0334. Again, it's 404-606-0334. And for you guys that like to email, my email address is Allen, ALLEN, at the A as in Apple, P as in Paul group.net. So that's Allen at the apgroup.net.
That's the best way to get a hold of him. That's easy enough, man. That's easy. So if you need him, get a hold of him, send him an email, send him a text, connect with Alan. He'll walk through the path with you. Honestly, if you want to learn more about the Debt Free for Life, he'll teach you how to do it. If you want to just send it over to him so you don't ever have to worry about it and you can be the general contractor of your business, send it over. That's the best way to do it. Alan, thanks again, man. We appreciate you. Thanks to everybody. Great week last week. Go out and crush it. The volume's just going to continue to get better and better. People are still buying more and more. The market's starting to change. There's a lot of good stuff coming. So look forward to the rest of the year. So we'll talk to you all soon. Take care. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Appreciate you, Jerrod.